Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Joseph Barisonzi, Global Leaders Organization, with me today. Joseph, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Give us some background on you, and I want to dive right into what's going on with Global Leaders Organization and how you help these fantastic people that you're affiliated with.
That's fantastic. First of all, I love this show.
Thank you.
I love the episodes that I've watched, and I want to give a shout out to Kent Binsley's show and Alex Pacente's show. Those were great shows. I come out of a community economic development background, fell in love with small businesses and all the work that they do. The reality is it's the small business owners that make up the fabric of all the civic, cultural things that we want to happen in our communities. And really fell in love with them, but also then took on the pain of how they raise capital and spent a decade working in alternative finance, creative ways to get money into the hands of businesses in the inner city, in rural America, women-owned businesses, businesses owned by people of color, the folks that the banks and the VC kind of overlook.
You were so involved in it that I think you had a part to play in the formation of some of the regulations that we now can use to our benefit. Tell us
Absolutely.
about that.
So I'm working very hard on alternative finance, put me in a conversations in DC, which ended up becoming the Jobs Act of 2011, which deregulated the SEC for the first time in 80 years and opened up some huge opportunities for small, medium-sized businesses. The two big ones are, for the first time, it meant that you or I as a business owner could do direct solicitation of an investment opportunity. And that meant that it opened up the internet and opened up marketing as a tool to raising capital, which before had been unavailable. And the other thing it did is it opened up the possibility and the opportunity for unaccredited investors, mainstream investors, to participate in private securities. So to own the businesses on Main Street.
Now, I'm very involved in CDFI, Community Development Finance Initiatives, and Opportunity Zones, and you also have a great depth of knowledge on those too, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. That's where I got my start, was in the CDFI world and how to put financing together for the overlooked areas of our community. I'm so glad that you've taken that on. You're going to add so much experience to that, and there could not be a better time, because the tax reforms that were passed by the Trump administration included these opportunity zones, which are amazing. They add a 7.5% APR to every investment. You can take a capital gains from anywhere, real estate, the stock market, and not pay, defer your capital gains, roll it into a business in your CDFI zone, in an opportunity zone, defer the taxes for 7 years, and then if you hold it for 10, you don't even have to pay taxes on the capital gains derived from the sale of that asset. It's an amazing tool.
It is. When I go out and I talk to bankers and I talk to private equity people, they are chomping at the bit to jump on the deals that are involved in this. I've never seen anything like it.
And what's amazing about it is that it is not just a real estate play. Right? It's also an operating business play. So for an operating business to look at how to locate and expand and grow their business in an opportunity zone, and then be able to turn around and provide those investors just a really aggressive return is amazing.
It is. All right. The landscape on that note. And tell me how you're working with Global Leaders Organization and what you're doing with that, and then also the investment spectrum that you work with, because it's not a narrow niche.
No, it's not at all.
You opened it right up.
So first of all, Global Leaders Organization is for existing small businesses, entrepreneurs, CEOs of companies with proven revenue, proven product in the market. And it's a networking organization, but beyond just the community, that's created. It's also a platform for CEOs to do business with each other. There's an aggressive, very incentivized marketplace to support business owners to do business with each other. And then there's also our investment portals, so they can raise capital from the people who know them the best. So my responsibilities are around those transaction platforms with a focus on the investment portals. So our goal is to provide a very low-cost solution to our member businesses to be able to take advantage of the Jobs Act, take advantage of the emerging digital private equity markets, and be able to post their investments in a safe, secure environment and aggregate their investors and in a very cost-effective way, take them through the sales, settlement, and fulfillment process in full compliance with the law.
You have an investor base that at this point I think is something like 1,200, but it's going to expand to how many?
So we have a targeted pool of about 80,000 investors that through partnerships we've pulled together. So when we fully launch, we're in a really solid beta right now. When we fully launch the Glow platform, our members who are raising capital on the platform will be visible to about 80,000 investors around the world.
Tell me about the online side of this, because that's where you're bringing them in. Walk our audience through some of the mechanics of how they're going to be able to take it from a concept platform, help in creating an enterprise trajectory, and then the capital formation part.
There's so many great questions in there. So I love them, and we could do a whole nother show on this,
which we
kind
will.
of issue of the ongoing capital need, right? Because the digital platforms open up an opportunity to get you off the treadmill of round-based raising and into an environment where you have an ongoing relationship with investors, so that you can pull just the capital you need at the right price at the right time. It's an amazing opportunity, but you have to get there first. So how do we get there? So we have a 3-step process to preparing a company to be able to be successful on the platform. The first is kind of an assessment stage. Let's just take a snapshot. What do you got? What's the formation? Where's the documents? What do you need? What do we recommend that you get? And then we'll match you with people on the Glow marketplace that can fill in the gaps of what you need. Right? Then we make sure that you are what we call fund ready, right? And fund ready means you've got all the right documents. You've got a PPM if you need it for this type of security that you're doing. You've got that term sheet that an investor will like to see. You've got the pitch deck. You've got your pitch down. And then our third step is we make sure you're raise ready, right? And raise ready means you're actually ready to take this show on the road. And it's not just a capital raise plan of where you're going to spend the money, what events you're going to go to, where you're going to be finding the investors. It's also making sure that we've converted all of that old school analog skill and materials to work in the digital platform. Right? So I've seen PPMs. You've seen 1,000 PPMs. Right. Do you ever read them A to B, from the front to the back?
After a while, you just kind of skim through the
You skim through it, and you go to the one section that you know well, right? I go to the competitive section. So I can take that PPM and put it online in a way that an investor can now interact with it and go directly to the piece that they want. I can take that term sheet and turn it into a dynamic document with lots of video. Right? I can take that old school pitch and turn it into a dynamic walkthrough of the site, taking the investor through the factory or through the office or through the retail location. So there's a lot that can be done in making it raise ready.
Now, let me jump in there for a second.
Please.
That walks us through the process, the plan process, but it's been my impression through doing what little investigation I could on the Glow platform that you're going a step further. You're making it interactive. You're allowing the investor to actually communicate beyond the paper level, beyond the PPM level, beyond the pitch deck level.
That's exactly right.
With these people. Walk me through that.
So we make that happen in 2 places. There's the easy place and then the really deep place. The easy place is that you can do investor events and dynamic chat and conversation and briefings on our digital investment platform. So you can host those regular events and then you archive them, right? Just like the archives of this show keep people connected with it,
Right.
you can archive your briefings so that a new investor coming in gets to take advantage of all your last briefings. But that's not enough. We take it a step further. That investor can also become a member of Glow, because Glow is not just for the entrepreneur, it's also for the investor. And on the Glow platform, they can engage in iterative, deeper conversation about that business.
How does that work?
And it's through direct member-to-member contact, through the use of our chat and discussion forums, where they can really find out, is this business really who they say they are? And are they really respected in their industry? And does this leadership team really have what it takes?
You are defining the next level of investor-investee relationships now. You've really, this is like 4.0.
And really, it's no different than what happened 60 years ago. But we're making it so that it can scale to a global level. Because 60 years ago, you were stuck with just the people that were in your own friend, family, country club network.
And the room.
And the room.
Physical room.
The
yeah.
physical room. And now we can make that a global room.
All right. Thank you for being a guest on today's show.
I hope to see you again.
You will. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.